Stories after the storm, tonight on R News.
Residents and officials in Exuma are continuing to pick up the pieces following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. For more details, stay tuned to R News tonight.
Plus, we check in with Long Island after Melissa's passage and new scenes out of Jamaica and Cuba. Then in R News at 7:30, one resident who stayed behind in the south says Crooked Island held strong, but he warned some roads are now impassable. R News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to R News. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. We begin with the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa right here at home. On Exuma, the storm's powerful winds left quite a mess behind, toppling electric poles, knocking out power and water, leaving many residents in the dark. But by sunrise, BEC crews already out trying to get things back up and running. And tonight we're also tracking the impact across the region. We've got new scenes of devastation coming out of Jamaica and Cuba. And in Long Island, residents there saying they're still trying to recover after Melissa's direct hit. Before we get to all those stories, our team coverage begins with our Joshua Williams in Exuma and Danielle Miller at Lynden Pindling International Airport. And I want to begin now with our Joshua Williams. And Josh, we understand that power is still out in some of those areas in Exuma?
Good evening, Candino. Yes, we're standing in the dark even now. I'm looking in the distance. The street lights are off. Cars are still traversing back and forth between the east and west sides. of Queens Highway, and just behind me there's still down power lines. The plaza that has a food store next to me, they have a generator, so residents are still coming to the store, getting what they need. Crews have been working all day, but the island administrator tells me it could be a while before power is fully reconnected to the islands. Now, we were out from as early as last night, even while the storm was still making its way, and what we saw was just surprising. We didn't wait for the system to subside before we were out and about on the streets last night, and what we saw shocked us. Utility poles snapped, leaving power lines laying in the road and dangling overhead. Trees also littered the streets, making driving dangerous. Eventually, we had to turn back for the evening. We set out early this morning, driving all the way to Williamstown in Little Exuma, where residents felt the effects. We met downed power lines, missing shingles, and uprooted trees. Despite the damage, I met 90-year-old Gabriel Stiles, his spirit unbroken.
Oh, it's terrible, but we're still alive. Thank God for life. It's important, very important. And I'm 90 years old anyway.
And parts of Great Exuma showed similar damage. Crews and even residents were hard at work cleaning streets. Bahamas Power and Light workers were up early, assessing and repairing downed lines. Our REV co-workers also hard at work restoring service. Despite facing monster storm Melissa, most of the island returned to work. The Georgetown dock bustling with activity as stores began restocking and gas station lines extending for blocks. We caught up with Island Administrator Christian Palacios at the airport. She says, fortunately, there were no reported injuries.
The government buildings fared fairly well. We lost some shingles from the administrator's residence and the office. We would have received reports of one resident that would have received roof damages based on a coconut tree falling on the roof. BPL is busy working, restoring power throughout the island. Ministry of Works, along with local government practitioners and the members of the Disaster Risk Management Committee, were on the ground from 6 a.m. clearing the roads to ensure that they're passable.
Now, Kendino, in the grand scheme of things, Exuma sort of got off lucky when we look at our neighbors in Auckland's Crooked Island, Long Island, and San Salvador, the destruction that we see there. They say they're still grateful that despite the inconvenience of power and water outages, they're still able to drive about. There's no major flooding at this time, and island officials are just asking residents to remain a bit patient with them as they're continuing to work hard. Kendino?
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. And from Exuma to Long Island, as we just heard from Joshua Williams, Long Islanders, they are feeling the impact of the hurricane. Flooded roads there, down power lines and damage to homes. Many say they feel abandoned, though, by government officials after being left out of a mandatory evacuation order. Bethany McDermott has the story.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, Long Islanders say the response from the government hasn't been stellar. Ahead of the storm, southern islands like Anagua, Acklins, and Crooked Island were placed under evacuation orders and flights were organized to get residents out. Long Island was not included. Antonia Carroll, who is a teacher on the island, says they should have been considered.
I can't help but feel that the island has been neglected. Now, I do acknowledge that there were a lot of uncertainties in regards to the path of the storm. And the reality is the south end of the island was expected to get hit the hardest. We did have our share of damages. We would have just started building our house and our roof suffered some damages, which has now delayed us.
Long Island got a direct hit from Hurricane Melissa, and according to residents, it seemed flooding was the worst of it. Carol tells us the Bahamas Power and Light officials estimate residents there will be out of power for at least 3 days. But she's not alone. Marvin Cartwright tells us residents felt slighted that they weren't given the opportunity to seek refuge in the capital.
We didn't even have the opportunity. Some elderly people and other folks who would like to probably go to Nassau and spend time with their families down there and not be all stressed out by the storm. But we wasn't even offered the privilege to do that. So I think that's real bad on the government's part.
Island Administrator Jandali Archer telling us the Deadman Ski Airport is compromised by flooding, but she said it seems the Selamaris Airport was operational.
We're not looking at commercial flights. We're looking at persons to bring in some water because BPL is down. So that means most of us are affected by not having running water in the home. That is off as well. And so we need fresh water because after using it to cook and bathe, you're going to run out of water shortly.
So supply.
We have 3 shelters open, being manned by professionals. And so we have some special needs persons in those shelters, but all of the shelters are properly, I'm so impressed with them, taken care of.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, we've heard from Exuma and Long Island there, and now we put the spotlight on things over in Jamaica. We've been following a story there since yesterday after President of the Jamaica Diaspora Association Bahamas, J-Dab, told our news he was unable to reach family members. Post Melissa Danielle Miller, who's been on this, she joins us now live from LPIA, working another story there. But Danielle, I understand that you spoke with the president of J-Dab today for an update?
Hi, Ken, that's right. I did speak to him, and for a moment, he breathed a sigh of relief. However, that was short-lived, as he told me that he still awaits word from other family members from his parish in Westmoreland. And he also let me know that this hurricane, in his opinion and his sister's opinion, who he spoke to today, was one of the worst that ever hit Jamaica, leaving not only a trail of devastation in the parishes there, but also within the community of the diaspora. Here's that story.
It was a big relief knowing that I'm hearing from somebody after the hurricane, but the other family members haven't heard anything. I'm still here sitting, waiting and hoping that something will break through that will make me feel like, okay, everything is okay. But at this point, everything is not okay.
That's President of the Jamaica Diaspora Association in the Bahamas, Rohan Carr, explaining how he spent days trying to contact family in Jamaica. When we spoke to Carr yesterday, he said all his attempts to make contact with family members in Jamaica failed until today. He told me moments before we arrived, he finally spoke to his sister via a satellite link.
She told me this morning today when she called that the next time she heard or hear about any hurricane threatening Jamaica, she's on the next flight out.
But there are still other family members that they've still not been able to reach. Carr, who is from the countryside of Westmoreland, says the frightening reality is the area is prone to landslides. After the conversation with his sister and seeing images of the devastation, along with the images of Melissa's fury, he feels heartbroken.
I've witnessed Gilbert before, 37 years ago. And what I am seeing and hearing, it is worse than what I've experienced before.
Now he and other Jamaicans living in the Bahamas are jumping in to help. He says J-Dab is planning on hosting a cookout in January, and the funds raised will be donated to hurricane relief efforts.
Everybody just wants to go home. Everybody just wants to go home. Who cannot hear anything want to go home.
Now, Ken, Mr. Carr is one of those people who said that he is anxious to get home, get on the ground, and see exactly what is going on and reconnect with his family. We will continue to follow that story as the weeks go on, including that cookout that I hope we are able to attend to give an update on the relief efforts. Back to you in studio.
Right, definitely hope so. Thanks for that, our Danielle Miller at LPIA for us tonight, and our Joshua Williams in Exuma. And we'll check back in with both of them coming up in our news at 7:30. But we go now to the Weather Center where meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by with the latest. And Greg, thank God Melissa is gone, eh?
Yeah, we're saying bye-bye. Yeah, well, Melissa did quite a bit of damage across Jamaica and the eastern portion of Cuba. And of course, we're waiting to see the damages here in the country. But we are pretty nice. We have a cold front now that's dropping in. Notice our temperatures into the 70s, 78 degrees, cloudy skies. It's a bit on the breezy side, west-northwest winds at 16 miles per hour. The feels like temperature is at 79. Current temperatures right now, much relief across the northern islands with that cooler air coming in. It's a cool 71 in Freeport, Grand Bahama. 74 in Marshall, Barbacoa, you could actually tell where that cold air mass is. 78 in Alistown, Bimini. We also picked that up here in the capital. 77 Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harpagee, 76. Governors Harbor, 80 degrees there into the central Bahamas. Temperatures also are rather comfortable. They're still in the 80s. 82 Kemps Bay, Black Point, Exuma, Port Nelson. 80 in Georgetown and Arthurstown, Cat Island. Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and Deadman's Key, you share 81 degrees. And in the southeast Bahamas, 81 Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abrahams Bay, Delectable Bay, 82, 80 in Matthew Town, Inagua, And our good neighbors to the southeast, Tricks and Caicos Islands, right now, your temperature is at 83. Satellite radar composite, as we said, bye, Melissa. See you later. It's gone. We do have a trailing trough across the southeast Bahamas, some of that moisture associated with that system still hanging out there, generating a few showers and isolated thunderstorms. You really don't see the cold front. The cold front is actually right upon the capital. That's going to continue to drift towards the southeast. But that's going to be ushering a nice change in the air mass. We're looking at some very comfortable temperatures and conditions for the balance of the week, and that will take us into the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. And Melissa, we'll take a look at our extended forecast when we come back.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. And in tonight's Sustainability First, Hurricane Melissa's destructive path through the Caribbean this week once again sparking concern that these storms are growing more powerful, and as Jasmine Brown tells us, the data shows that they are.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
Research shows that climate change is making hurricanes wetter, windier, and more intense. There's also evidence that it's causing storms to travel slower, dumping more water in one place. If it were not for oceans, the planet would be much hotter due to climate change. But in the last 40 years, the ocean has absorbed about 90% of the warming caused by rising heat, trapping greenhouse gas emissions. Much of the ocean heat is contained near the water's surface. This additional heat can fuel a storm's intensity and power stronger winds. Climate change can also boost the amount of rainfall delivered by a storm, as a warmer atmosphere can also hold more moisture, while water vapor builds up until clouds break, sending down heavy rains. During the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, one of the most active on record, climate change boosted hourly rainfall rates in hurricane-force storms by 8% to 11%. So how else is climate change affecting storms? Director of the Grantham Institute, Ralph Toomey, explains.
Coming up in sports, DeAndre Ayton went head-to-head with a four-time Defensive Player of the Year. Light work.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and a live fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communication.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. It's a simple formula, right? DeAndre Ayton gets a double-double and the Lakers win. Well, you also need some heroics from Austin Reeves, but you get the point. Ayton recorded his second double-double of the season as the Los Angeles Lakers edged the Minnesota Timberwolves 116-115 on the road last night in Minnesota. He finished with 17 points and 10 rebounds in 35 minutes, shooting an efficient 8 for 11 from the field.
Carl here loves Columbia. So do we here at 10YS. It's the site of our next work conclave. But Carl here loves Columbia because it's a place where he continues to dominate on the pro boxing circuit. He'll successfully defend his World Boxing Association, Fed Caribe Super Welterweight, and National Boxing Association Latino Super Welterweight titles with a third-round knockout over Colombian Cesar Vizcaíno. He extended his undefeated pro record to 13-0.
One of the most important parts of being an athlete, making sure you fall in line with the rules and regulations to stay active in the field of play. To that end, the Bahamas Anti-Doping Commission recently visited the International Elite Sports Academy and addressed both students and alumni in a powerful presentation delivered by Executive Director Petra Haven and Office Administrator Lael Johnson. The session was designed to educate the athletes on the Commission's mission, protecting the integrity of sport in the Bahamas, and to explain why adherence to clean sport rules is crucial for every competitor. BADC's role includes coordinating and implementing doping control programs, educating athletes on prohibited substances, the doping control process, and working to ensure that all sporting organizations in the country are compliant with the international standards set by the World Anti-Doping Agency. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, Jamaicans start their recovery. Floods and destruction in Santiago de Cuba, and the Pentagon to immediately resume testing nuclear weapons. All that and more when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and a live fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business. Both Hook up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your...
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. At least 4 people are dead in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa slammed into the island as the strongest storm on record. Officials say 3 men and a woman were found in floodwaters in St. Elizabeth Parish. The Category 5 monster packed winds near 185 miles per hour, tearing off roofs, uprooting trees, and leaving entire communities cut off.
It was terrible. The wind, it was violent. It was terrible for all of us. I have a son here, and believe me, he was actually crying. So we were all full up, and we was just weeping when we hear the breeze. So it was terrible.
Yesterday I didn't have any fear. I've been through a storm already, so I know what to expect. I wasn't worried about my neighbors around me, and we keep connecting on the phone until the phone got disconnected. No, I think it was going to be worse than this. I think it was going to be worse because how the wind was going, but it's still good because we only lost 3 fruit trees and stuff like that. My neighbor lost our roof and it damaged our house, but that's it.
Meanwhile, Hurricane Melissa pounded eastern Cuba early Wednesday, flooding streets there and ripping roofs off homes. In Santiago de Cuba, residents spent the morning wading through knee-deep water, clearing fallen trees and power lines after Melissa's landfall. The U.S. National Hurricane Center says Melissa struck with winds near 120 miles per hour. Cuban officials say more.
Testing, and we've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
It wasn't immediately clear if he was referring to actual detonation of a weapon, something the U.S. hasn't done in 33 years, or merely the testing of nuclear-capable missiles. The announcement came just minutes before Trump was set to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea for trade talks. Trump posted the directive on Truth Social, saying the Pentagon will begin testing America's nuclear arsenal on an equal basis with other nuclear powers. He said he had to act to ensure Washington keeps up with rival powers, adding that test site locations would be decided later. Asked whether the world now faced a higher risk of nuclear war, Trump dismissed the danger, saying U.S. weapon stockpiles were well locked up. He added that he would welcome denuclearization. Trump's call to restart testing comes as China rapidly expands its arsenal, and just days after Russia claimed successful tests of a nuclear-powered cruise missile and torpedo.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 30th. Then in our news at 7:30.
Residents and officials in Exuma are continuing to pick up the pieces following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. For more details, stay tuned to our news tonight.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely. when I'm from home. Internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt into SportsX for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and a live fiber on channel 747 and 748.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1629, King Charles I granted a patent to England's Attorney General Robert Heath, giving him land in the Bahamas, marking the start of British colonialization in the region. Then in 1990, the Bahamas signed the UN Convention on the Rights of a Child, and in 2015, the troubled Bahama resort was placed into receivership. To learn more about the events that shaped the day that was October 30th, head over to ournews.bs. And she's flipped a slammer her way into our hearts. And certainly our very own Alexis Gray, she's a Bahamian professional wrestler, and she's been taking her talents across the world, wrestling in different countries while continuing to make her country proud. She spoke with our Joshua Williams in an Our News digital exclusive, and she prepares to defend her heavyweight title. If you want to see that story, you'll have to look out for it on Our News Bahamas on Facebook. All right, if you want to watch that, and for all of today's top stories, remember, you can visit ournews.bs and, of course, Our News Bahamas on Facebook. Share your favorite stories right from there. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Megan Shepard, she's up now with the latest headlines. Megan?
You know, busy day and another busy day tomorrow as we do have nomination day for candidates in the Golden Isles constituency. Our news will be on the ground tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned as we continue our Hurricane Melissa coverage, and that continues tonight at 7:30. First tonight, assessments of the aftermath. Our Sasha Lightbourne traveling with the Prime Minister along with other government and DRM officials as they get a first-hand look at Hurricane Melissa's impact in the South. Plus,
residents and officials in Exuma are continuing to pick up the pieces following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. For more details, stay tuned to Our News tonight.
And our Danielle Miller is live at LPIA. We've got the latest on operations at the International Airport post-Hurricane Melissa. And later,
in the wake of Hurricane Melissa, one non-profit organization says they are ready to assist. I'm Berthany McDermott. We'll bring you the details on Our News tonight.
The details for these stories and more when Our News continues.
Candino Knowles here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
Welcome to our news and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. A post-Hurricane Melissa assessment is underway across the southern and central Bahamas. The Prime Minister and disaster risk management officials touched down on several islands today, surveying damage and meeting residents still picking up the pieces. It comes as Exuma residents continue restoration efforts after powerful winds knocked out electricity and water. Long Islanders say they still feel forgotten after being left out of the evacuation order. And on Cricket Island, one man who rode out the storm says his community fared better than expected, though some roads remain impassable. Across the region, the aftermath is equally as stark, with new images of destruction out of Jamaica and Cuba. We have got team coverage tonight with our Joshua Williams, Danielle Miller, and our Sasha Lightborn at Odyssey Airport. And Sasha, I want to begin with you tonight. I know you traveled with the Prime Minister's delegation, and some of you are still at the airport. What came out of the day?
Hi, Megan. Yes, we are here live from the Odyssey Airport, and we would have just touched down coming back from Cat Island. We also visited Acklins as well as Long Island. Now, with me, I have the Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, as well as the Minister of State responsible for disaster risk management. DPM, we would have visited those three islands. What is the overall assessment at this point?
Well, we wanted firstly to assess the damage. We also had the occasion, along with Prime Minister Davis, to visit San Salvador and Rumkey. Fortunately, no major damage. We see some breaking in the road to Salina Point and Acklins, some flooding mainly in Long Island and the Grays area. Some residents report some damage to roof, loss of shingles, etc. But overall, no loss of life, no serious injuries. Thanks to God, we fared reasonably well. I want to say thank you to the media for covering the assessments. Importantly, though, to the DRM, Minister Lundy and his team at DRMA been doing a fantastic job with little sleep. And we want to also pay tribute and thanks to all of our partners, Bahamas Air and all of the other airlines. One of the major, largest evacuations ever in the history of the Bahamas, executed by these agencies. And I think it's important to acknowledge their great work, the work of the essential service workers, and really on behalf of the Bahamian people and the people of the southeastern Bahamas in particular, I say thank you to everyone involved. This could have been catastrophic based on what we've seen in Jamaica and Cuba, Haiti and DR, but God's been good to us.
And Minister Lundy, for you, I know we have some eager evacuees ready to get back home. What are the next steps in terms of, for them, getting back to those southern islands?
Well, good evening, Bahamas. And firstly, I'd like to say a special thank you to the Family Island administrators who were on the ground, ensuring that everything was coordinated well. And thanks to everybody at the National Disaster Emergency Operations Center that stayed day and night, tirelessly working, as the DPM said, to make sure that everything went smooth. Our next steps is making sure that the Met gives the all clear, and then the Prime Minister would lift the evacuation notice that was given earlier in the week, and then we will begin the process tomorrow of sending the evacuees back into each district.
All right, so there you heard it from the Deputy Prime Minister as well as the Minister of State responsible for disaster risk management. As he has said, the next step is to get the all clear. That has not been given as yet, so we will await those. Reporting live from Odyssey, I'm Sasha Lightborn. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you so much for that update, Sasha. Our Sasha Lightborn at Odyssey Airport for us tonight. And now to Exuma, where Hurricane Melissa knocking out power and water across the island today. Powerful winds tipping over electricity poles, creating a dangerous situation for residents and cutting power to communities. Our Joshua Williams is there live. And Josh, we understand crews were out early to clean up the mess. Have they been able to restore any of those utilities?
Good evening, Megan. In some pockets they have been, but for the majority of the island, no. In fact, we're standing along the main Queens Highway here in Exuma, just outside of Farmers Hill. The road is dark. The only light provided right now is the light from our cameras and the occasional car that's passing behind us, as you can see right now. And it's been like this all day. It may be like this for a few more days as resources on the island are limited. Crews are trying to work as quickly as they can, and last night we saw the early signs of what happened that caused this power outage. We didn't wait for the system to subside before we were out and about on the streets last night, and what we saw shocked us. Utility poles snapped, leaving power lines laying in the road and dangling overhead. Trees also littered the streets, making driving dangerous. Eventually, we had to turn back for the evening. We set out early this morning, driving all the way to Williamstown in Little Exuma, where residents felt the effects. We met downed power lines, missing shingles, and uprooted trees. Despite the damage, I met 90-year-old Gabriel Stiles, his spirit unbroken.
Oh, it's terrible, but you know, we're still alive. Thank God for life. It's important, very important. And I'm 90 years old anyway.
And parts of Great Exuma showed similar damage. Crews and even residents were hard at work cleaning streets. Bahamas Power and Light workers were up early, assessing and repairing downed lines. Our REV co-workers also hard at work restoring service. Despite facing months to storm Melissa, most of the island returned to work. The Georgetown dock bustling with activity as stores began restocking and gas station lines extending for blocks. We caught up with Island Administrator Christian Palacios at the airport. She says fortunately there were no reported injuries.
The government buildings fared fairly well. We lost some shingles from the administrator's residence and the office. We would have received reports of one resident that would have received roof damages based on a coconut tree falling on the roof. VPL is busy working, restoring power throughout the island. Ministry of Works, along with local government practitioners and the members of the Disaster Risk Management Committee, were on the ground from 6 a.m. clearing the roads to ensure that they're passable.
And Megan, one thing that has impressed me about this entire ordeal is the way the members of the community are coming together. They're sharing water, they're sharing food, they're sharing resources as residents are still picking up the pieces, even if it just be, just a little damage that the community has suffered. Now again, administrators are asking residents on the island to be patient as they continue to work to restore power and water. Megan?
Absolutely love to hear that, Josh. Stay safe and get back inside away from all of those mosquitoes. Our Joshua Williams live from Exuma tonight. Now, Hurricane Melissa's fury swept through Crooked Island Wednesday, and one resident who rode it out says he believes the island fared well. We spoke exclusively with David Ferguson in Colonel Hill, who, unlike most of his family, including his wife, chose not to evacuate. Ferguson tells Our News he drove into Majors Key this morning, an area he says has long struggled with flooding. Post Melissa, he says that roadway is now impassable, warning other residents they'll need a truck to get through. As for elsewhere on the island, Ferguson says he hasn't seen any major flooding.
There are some trees down, power lines. I haven't seen too much of the power lines on the ground, but I'm hearing that there are some power lines, transmission lines that are down on the island. For the most part, we fared pretty well. If you was to traverse the area I went through, we have some slight damages to some roofs with shingles coming off, and there's stuff you expect. But I haven't seen any significant structural damage in this area.
All right, great silver lining. Airport officials are giving an update tonight on what's happening with flights across islands hit by Hurricane Melissa. I want to go now to our Danielle Miller at the Lyndon Pinley International Airport. And Danielle, I know you spoke with head of the Airport Authority just moments ago. What's the latest on getting air travel back to normal?
Hi, Megan. For context, I want to take it back to Tuesday to the official statement that they released that airports will be closing at 8 p.m. that day. And those airports were Maguana, Crooked Island, Rum Key, Ragged Island, Acklins, Inagua, San Salvador, Deadman's Key, Stella Mars, New Bight, Exuma International, Black Point, Farmers Key, and Staniel Key. This evening, the managing director and acting general manager, Mr. Peter Rutherford, told me they were still assessing those airports, and he was able to give this update that all of them opened at noon today except for Rum Key, Stella Mars, and Deadman's Key. He He also said that Deadman's Keys Airport is compromised and they have to get machines down there to clear the pathway for them. And he advises that an update regarding those airports would come or may come tomorrow once they can finish their assessment. As for the airlines, we spoke to President and CEO of Western Air, Rexy Roll, who said that flights into Cat Island and Exuma resumed today. When it came to officials for Bahamas Air, they said that they would release an official statement. However, we have not gotten that statement up until news time. So far in the Lynden Pinland Airport, things have been pretty like this, very calm, very still, with only activity coming down from British Airways counter and some persons leaving the domestic side this evening. And Megan, I guess we will have to continue to wait for those official reports from executives from the airport authority as it relates to those three airports, as well as Bahamas Air as it relates to those flights continuing into the Southern Islands. Back to you.
Of course, and be sure to stay tuned to the Our News social media pages for those updates. Our Danielle Miller live from LPI tonight. And of course, we'd also like to thank our Joshua Williams in Exuma and Sasha Lightborn at Odyssey for those updates. And still to come, updates from the Consul General in Jamaica and the Ambassador to the Republic of Cuba. Both say Bahamians in those countries fared well. We'll get to that just after the break. And now to meteorologist Greg Thompson, who joins us from the Weather Center with your first look at temperatures. Greg, lots of activity post-Hurricane Melissa. How's it looking out there?
Much improved. We have a cold front now pushing through the capital, and that's going to be pulling into the south central Bahamas tonight. Then we have Melissa, which is pulling out, but has a trailing trough. But comfortable temperatures. It's going to be cool on the outside tonight. 77, cloudy, breezy conditions. West-northwest winds at 15 miles per hour. Your field strike temperature will be at 79. Satellite radar composite, trailing moisture from Melissa still hanging out across the southeast Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands. So could see some showers down there. But as I mentioned, a very weak front, but a nice change in air mass coming as a cold front pushes into the central Bahamas, looking for much improved conditions over the next couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
When our news comes back from the break, one non-profit organization telling our Berthany McDermott they stand ready to spring into action as assessments are underway. Plus, all accounted for. The Consul General in Jamaica and the Ambassador in Cuba both say Bahamians fared well in those respective countries during Melissa's passage. That's coming up when our news returns.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Terry Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to do the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had,
Non-profit organizations now jumping into action as Southern Islands reel from the damage of Hurricane Melissa. The Red Cross says pallets are already packed to send, and their teams will assess to see the extent of the need. They spoke with our Berthany McDermott.
With Hurricane Melissa now moving further away from the Bahamas, the focus is now on relief efforts for affected islands. Prime Minister Philip Davis led an assessment team to the islands today, and Red Cross President Edison Sumner telling us one of their team members was on that flight to help assess the damage and find out how best to assist.
We have a couple of pallets already packaged and ready to go, right? As soon as we get decide where we're sending it, and then the mode of transportation.
In addition to that, Sumner says the Red Cross has already reached out internationally to source supplies and materials for the impacted areas. Government evacuated some family islands in the storm's path. Just over 1,400 of them came to New Providence, and according to Sumner, the Red Cross jumped in to assist them there as well.
Our volunteers were in the shelters. We assisted with providing some materials already to the shelters, such as bedding, cots, blankets, personal hygiene items, personal care kits.
But Director General Alicia Pinder tells us preparation didn't just begin. She said the Red Cross started stocking up on food and water from the start of the hurricane season.
What is important for us is to be able to provide those small items, some food items, maybe water, if those things are interrupted because of the storm. There are some bigger items that we will probably need assistance with. And one of the things that we do is find out if where funding is possible and be able to identify that as soon as possible and apply for it.
And in the wake of this natural disaster, the Red Cross says there are multiple ways you can donate.
We have a bank account at Royal Bank, which funds can be sent. It's Royal Bank, John F. Kennedy Drive, 289-4228.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks so much, Berthany. And now, making sure Bahamians get back home is a priority, according to Consul General for the Bahamas and Jamaica, Alveda Knight. Knight confirmed that all Bahamian students and visitors in Jamaica are accounted for after the passage of Hurricane Melissa earlier this week.
Yes, we've been talking about this before we even knew what was happening with the airports as to what would be the best scenario for each airport. So discussions are in play as to if it's science to what to do, if it's Norman Manley what to do. So we're just literally on that part of the plank to decide which side we're going to go on once which airport will be opened. So we are doing that, and at the same time making sure Bahamians who are here reach out to me so I can ensure that they're on the list. So Bahamas will know what size flight, because we don't want to send, if we think there are only 80 people on my list, and they send a flight to accommodate 80 persons, and then at the airport.
And rebuilding and restoration efforts are underway in Cuba after Hurricane Melissa devastated the outer provinces. But thankfully, according to Ambassador of the Bahamas to Cuba, Dr. Ellison Ramming, the capital, Havana, was not impacted. He says that's where 20 of the 21 Bahamian students are part of the Cuban medical program reside. Ambassador Ramming says the students were able to continue in the classroom as normal.
We are in constant touch with the students who are in capital, in Havana, and we heard from the student who is in the outer province, and he's fine. Cuba has a very protracted blackout problem, and it affects the outer provinces far more than it does Havana.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
A busy week for Bahamians in the NBA continues. Just one game last night, but boy, it was a great one. Another successful title defense for Carl Hill, and we talk doping. Well, anti-doping.
Hey, you gotta catch the Charlie Bahamas show this week, where I'm taking you all over the world to about 20 different countries, all in one show, right here at the International Culture Wine and Fruit Festival.
Welcome to Ghana.
This is the festival. People say that they see people that they don't see all year. They see them here.
It's the Charlie Bahama new season every Friday, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
South Africa!
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. It's a simple formula, right? DeAndre Ayton gets a double-double and the Lakers win. Well, you also need some heroics from Austin Reeves, but you get the point. Ayton recorded his second double-double of the season as the Los Angeles Lakers edged the Minnesota Timberwolves 116-115 on the road last night in Minnesota. He finished with 17 points and 10 rebounds in 35 minutes, shooting an efficient 8 for 11 from the field. A force in the paint on both ends of the floor, Ayton blocked a Jaden McDaniels layup and altered several other shots around the rim. The pick and roll actions created easy scoring opportunities and kept the defense collapsing in the post, evident on Reeves' game winner. Ayton is averaging 16 points and 9.4 rebounds per game while shooting 63% from the field.
Carl here loves Colombia. So do we here at 10YS. It's the site of our next work conclave. But Carl here loves Colombia because it's a place where he continues to dominate on the pro boxing circuit. He'll successfully defended his World Boxing Association, Fed-Caribe Super Welterweight, and National Boxing Association Latino Super Welterweight titles with a third-round knockout over Colombian Sena Vizcaíno. He extended his undefeated pro record to 13-0. The latest victory not only retained his titles, but also improved his regional and international standings listed in the WBA Fed Latin rankings in the Super Welterweight division. Hield has stated that he is working with his management team at R&R Sports Management to prepare for another defense and is looking to contest for the World Boxing Council Intercontinental title while securing a home soil showcase here in the Bahamas in November.
One of the most important parts of being an athlete, making sure you fall in line with the rules and regulations to stay active in the field of play. To that end, the Bahamas Anti-Doping Commission recently visited the International Elite Sports Academy and addressed both students and alumni in a powerful presentation delivered by Executive Director Petra Haven and Office Administrator Lael Johnson. The session was designed to educate the athletes on the Commission's mission, protecting the integrity of sport in the Bahamas, and to explain why adherence to clean sport rules is crucial for every competitor. BADC's role includes coordinating and implementing doping control programs, educating athletes on prohibited substances, the doping control process, and working to ensure that all sporting organizations in the country are compliant with the international standards set by the World Anti-Doping Agency. The organization has been active in community outreach, hosting schools, clubs, and programs seeking to educate young athletes on the way forward. Haven said these initiatives help to install a culture of fair play, healthy competition, and transparency across the sporting community. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. We're safely out of the path of the storm. Lamar is coming back tonight. Feels like nature is healing.
No, the Dolphins are going to win.
So nature's not healing. Back to the studio.
On the other side of this break, Greg is back in the Weather Center with a complete look at your forecast across the country. Stick with us.
Hey, you got to catch the Charlie Bahamas show this week, where I'm taking you all over the world to about 20 different countries, all in one show, right here at the International Culture Wine and Food Festival.
Welcome to Ghana. Charlie Bahamas.
This is the festival. People say that they see people that they don't see all year. They see them here.
It's the Charlie Bahama news season every Friday, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
South Africa!
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live...
This is our news. Welcome back. We are saying goodbye to Melissa after it did its damage across Jamaica and eastern Cuba and here in the Bahamas, central and southeastern islands. Still waiting for the assessment, but yeah, it's pulling out quickly, rather quick. 5 p.m. position places the system at 30.2 degrees north, 69.7 west, and it is racing towards the northeast at 31 miles per hour. Winds up to 105 miles per hour, and that system will brush past Bermuda over the next couple of hours. I should get there sometime by about midnight and into tomorrow, but the system will race off towards the northeast and out into the North Atlantic, where we have some very cool waters, and we will be saying not much more about the system, but I think this one will be one for the record books. The tropics remaining quiet across the remainder of the area, but nothing happening, couple of tropical waves, so we're going to be quiet for the next 7 days after having to deal with Melissa. We do have a weak cold front that's pushing into the area. That's going to be ushering a nice change at the air mass, and looks as though the weekend is going to be pretty nice. Taking a look at the future forecast, moisture associated with Melissa, that trailing trough across the southeast Bahamas, will keep some shower activity there. Front that's dropping into the central and southeast Bahamas will merge with this system or that moisture, and that will lift back towards the north, so we could see 1 or 2 showers across the central Bahamas with the moisture as it pulls towards our area. Boating forecast, we're asking you about this to remain out of the Atlantic still. We have some swells out there, northwest and northerly winds 15 to 20 knots at night, but they will be falling 10 to 15 knots tomorrow. Seas running 3 to 5 feet, but up to 8 feet in some northerly swells. Low tide is at 9:34 tonight. The high tide takes place at 3:36 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag out there. In the Atlantic, north to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet, but building up to 7 feet in north to northeasterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, improving conditions, temperatures take a nice step. We're looking for some low 80s during the daytime. Start to warm up by early next week. Those nighttime temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. And we are starting to see the cold front, so welcome to the cool air mass. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, immediately after this newscast, On the Record with Jerome Sawyer is live. Tonight, he's talking Hurricane Melissa, its impact on the region and here at home. Be sure to stay tuned. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. We will see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening. On the Record starts right now. Hi guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.